Hey guys, this is one of those videos that's basically just for me to really work through and process some things, and I don't even know if anyone will be seeing this at any point. But once I'm done sharing, if I feel like it could help others, I usually just post them. Pretty comfortable sharing almost all of myself, so yeah, I've been going through something really intense that I'm really coming into more contact with. And I had this really fascinating synchronicity tonight where I was realizing that I'm not all of myself is here. Like, not all of my soul is here with me right now. And the reason is because I was just in like this inner struggle, this inner war was waging within me. I was coming to like this crossroads, and like half of me wanted to go this way and the other half wanted to go this way. And what ended up happening was like this implosion. It's like they both kind of destroyed each other. Like it kind of destroyed myself in the process. And the truth won out in the end. But I'm noticing that there's still a lot of parts of me that haven't made the trip to where I am now, that are still back where I was, and there's like a good almost half of me that still wanted to be there. And so I haven't felt totally complete in my, like totally full. I felt really happy, I felt really expanded, really on track, really aligned, like more aligned than I have in a long time. But for all of that to have happened, like this war within me had to go down, and this part of me that wanted to go a different way, that wanted to will a different way into existence and will a different way into being the truth, like that part of me had to like lose a war, and it was really devastating. And I noticed that part of me is still like making its way back to me, and I've been just wanting to go forward on this new way of being really fast. And I'm realizing tonight, like it's so essential when we do go through these really difficult decisions and crossroads, where it's like half wanted to go this way, half wanted to go this way, that we really take our time and allow ourselves to reintegrate the parts of us that kind of didn't get their way, you know. And you'll notice it's like 56% of you maybe wants this and 44% wants this, and it's really close, but the truth's always going to win out, even if it's by the slimmest of margins. But that can be really painful for a lot of parts of you that wanted something different than what the truth in the universe is demanding of you. And so yeah, that's what I've been going through, and it's just reconnecting in my heart space with the pain of the parts that are heartbroken, that wanted maybe something, or thought they wanted something different. And it was so funny, as I was journaling about this, I opened, I was journaling basically what happened was very intense, and it really tore me apart. A big part of me wanted to commit to this other path, and I got in very deep on this other path. And I was journaling, it's going to take some time for all of me to come back home, and just to stay the course, and to be patient, to go slow, and and just like allowing for these parts to come home will feel really good and nourishing, and that there's just a lot to digest, and like a big chunk of me is still there, still where I was, where it was no longer true for me to be anymore, both in the location and the circumstance and everything. And it like kind of refused to leave. And so I just need to relax and be patient and really cultivate this receptive and loving environment for those parts to come back home to. Like, hey, you can come back home on your own time. There's no rush. I get that you're hurting. I get that that was super heartbreaking and excruciating. But I'm here to welcome you home when you're ready. Like these aspects of our soul, aspects of our wounded self that are maybe fragmented and hurting. And it was interesting. I wrote, you're not operating with all of yourself yet. And then I opened this book, this Dolores Cannon book, because this place I'm staying has like all these Dolores Cannon books, and I've heard of her through Victor Odo and Aaron Doughty and these people. And so I was just kind of like trying to give my mind some entertainment. I don't read much, but I picked up a Dolores Cannon book, and I literally just how a lot of us read books, we just open it to a part and start reading, And it was literally talking about how when some people go through things, they don't operate with all of their soul for a while, and it takes all their soul a while to come back into the body. And I like literally was just journaling that earlier today, and then just opened to that part of the Dolores Cannon book, and I'd never I had read a little bit of it last night, but not this part. But I just opened it right to that part. I was like, oh shit. And it was just like this synchronicity of like, this is exactly what's happening to me. And so, yeah, these times, if something like this happens to you, which is inevitable, sometimes the path gets confusing and we're not sure which way to go, and it takes a while for the truth to win out, and there might be like an inner war before the truth can win, whether that's in leaving a relationship or not, leaving a job or not, a location, how to handle a certain situation. It's like sometimes we're just in an immense inner conflict with things. And the key I'm learning here is to go really slow and to be gentle with yourself. I think I tried to kind of rush along because I was finally, when we do surrender into the truth of our soul's mission, it feels so good, and you're like so ready to just, really grab that by the horns and to embrace it and to go all in on it. But what I'm realizing is it's actually serving me more to really take my time and to settle in to this new, more aligned way of being. To give the other parts of me some time to kind of lick their wounds and to kind of like let go of the past and to process the pain. I think I tried to go so fast sometimes. A lot of us do this. It's because we don't want to process the pain of what we just left and the pain of the excruciating decision that was made for us essentially by life. Sometimes we don't even have a choice in these things. Things are just ripped from us like quickly. And I haven't really given myself a lot of time to be with the pain of that yet. It's almost like I just wanted to kind of brush over it. The hurtful part of this. But my guidance is to myself and to any of you going through this, the more we can be with those heartbroken parts, the sad parts, the parts that still want to be back with that other person in that other location, in that old job that they fell in love with, but you just outgrew it, whatever the case may be, the more we can really hold space for them and be with them and not rush them, the more we'll start to feel like ourself again. And the more we'll start to feel our entire soul flow back into our being, into our body. And then we can start operating with the totality of ourself. So yeah, for a while there, was like, it was just interesting to have that realization and to notice for a while, like how I felt like, where is the rest of me? I feel like I don't have all of me here. And it's like, well, yeah, of course not. It's like my whole system like imploded and got blown into a million pieces because this war was so intense, and I was hanging on so tight and so strong to something I didn't want to let go of. Something that did feel so true on so many levels. That's why this is so confusing sometimes with awakening, is because some things can feel really true and can be really amazing and growth oriented, but they're just still not right for us. And those things hurt the most to let go of, because they do offer you so many good things, and they are so filled with so much beauty and love. But you know, at the end of the day, it's like not our choice. Like I said, some of these things are just ripped from us, and it can be like excruciating for these parts of us that, you know, didn't get what they wanted. And so, yeah, that's my little video for myself to process. I can even feel as I'm speaking about this, really reconnecting with a lot of these parts. And I notice I've been looking down a lot during this video, and it's just like that part of me getting to come up and be here, like the sad parts, the parts that are grieving that I really haven't let grieve fully. Yeah, and the parts that are still clinging to an old reality that's dissolving and falling away, and that will be no more. It's like these parts are going to cling as long as I need to, and I think in my own system I'm orienting to more tenderness to these parts, more allowing of these parts to take their time, and just to be there with them, and to know, yeah, it feels so good to be aligned, and I'm so glad things happened as they did. I'm so appreciative to be this connected to my purpose again, to be so filled with passion and joy again. Like I haven't felt this much passion and joy in a long time. So like that's so amazing. And I think, yeah, like a lot of me just wanted to just, you know, kind of bypass the other parts of me that are grieving and still in intense pain over how everything unraveled to get me here. Like ultimately it was a beautiful thing, things happened the way they did, but it was devastating, you know? It's like this path of kundalini awakening, spiritual awakening is devastatingly beautiful. As Cara Leah, one of my early guides on the path, I used to watch her YouTube videos and read her writings. She always used to say kundalini is devastatingly beautiful, and nothing could be more true about the experience that I'm going through. Holy crap, was it devastating and just like excruciating. And I didn't leave the situation until literally my system was like imploding, and felt like I was gonna die if I stayed another second. It was like I was hanging on that long. It was so devastating for me to let go of it. It was like I was in so deep in that situation, but on the other hand, it's so beautiful, because letting go of that, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in a whole new reality. I feel like I'm in a whole new realm. I feel more connected to my mission on earth than ever. And so it's like I had to go. Sometimes we have to go through things that are super devastating, that are heartbreaking and heart-wrenching. We have to let go of things that we really don't want to, but on the other side of that, it is so beautiful, because we are so much more aligned with who we really are. And yeah, it's a difficult path, but ultimately it's well worth it. And yeah, that's the message tonight, is just to go slow. If you're going through something similar, if you're having to let go of things that are difficult to let go of, go slow with the parts that are grieving, with the parts that are still clinging, with the parts that are still hurting and that aren't really ready yet to let go. It's like, be there for them. You know, we don't need to rush these parts, and it's actually the slower we go, the quicker we tend to heal these parts too. I don't want to give you guys something to like go after and chase, but yeah, just sending you all so much love. Thanks for being here and holding space for this video. Yeah, it's like, it is such a beautifully devastating process. It's so rich, it's so full, it's so intense, you know, it's so alive, this process of evolution, of growth, of awakening. And that's such a big part of it, is death and rebirth, and the death of things that were really good for us at one point, and as those die, and as excruciating as it is, and as much as we don't want to let go, something new and beautiful rebirths that is even so much more fulfilling and so much more aligned for our highest good, you could say, for the highest good of all. And that's what I've been feeling a lot too. It's been like, you know, it's the duality, it's the polarity of both things happening. It's like, yeah, the sadness on one end, but oh my gosh, I felt so much more, like I can give so much more in all ways too, because I am feeling so much more connected to my truth. So yeah, just know that as you are letting go and dying, in some ways, as painful as that is, it's like something beautiful is taking root and it is birthing simultaneously. But yeah, just take your time with it. There's no need to rush. So yeah, I'm going to spend the rest of this evening tending to my wounded parts, my sad parts, the parts that are still grieving, the parts that are still slowly making their journey back to me, that are still like not sure if they want to come yet, and that's like making this video as an offering to them, to tell them, you know, I'm here for you, and I'm welcoming you home whenever you're ready to come back. And yeah, yeah, it feels really good. It feels so good to offer that to those parts of us. But thanks for holding space, guys. If this is Patreon, thank you for being here. Your support means a lot to me. Yeah, and if this is YouTube, if I get vulnerable enough to share this on YouTube, which I think I probably will, thanks so much for being here, and I just appreciate all of you. Sending you all so much love. Namaste.